So you will introduce and let everybody know about the questions, that they can write questions in the Q&A box that we'll answer after each presentation.
Mm-hmm. I remember we had some, we did one of these yesterday, and it took about 5 minutes for attendees to come out. So I'm going to start broadcasting. Okay. So now we are live, and I think the attendees are now able to log on. They're all coming on now, and that's great to see. And we're very excited to be here today. As the attendees are logging in, I will just announce to everybody that Wedaways, Getaways is here doing virtual FAMs because this year we had to cancel so many of our amazing fam trips that we take, and when we bring wedding planners that specialize in different regions and different wedding types all over the world to see your beautiful properties. And our hearts sank this year like everybody else's did, but this is the best alternative that we can do now, and we're all going to look very forward to starting up Wedaways, Getaways again, live and in person as soon as the world's gates open. So for anyone that doesn't know me or that hasn't met me, I'm Renee Strauss. I'm a co-founder of Wedaways. Pamela Strauss Goldman is my business partner and my lovely daughter. And we started this amazing project about 5 years ago. And we feature beautiful properties that specialize and love to host weddings and honeymoons on their properties around the world. We started with a handful of believers in Italy, and it has now grown to over 200, I think we're up to about 220 international properties in 25 countries. And each property that we feature has its own messaging tool on their profile on wedaways.com. And people are able to go on the site, peruse properties in the destinations that we feature all over the world, and send messages directly to the properties, which the properties are very delighted to receive and very happy to answer. Today on this webinar, we are featuring 3 wonderful property partners that we love working with in Tuscany that were scheduled to be on the FAM that we unfortunately couldn't manage this time around. And before I introduce these wonderful property partners, I just want to let the audience know that if you have any questions, you're able to send them right through. Pamela is going to be managing them and answering them at the end of each presentation. And then afterwards, of course, if you want to send any questions to us, please feel free to send them either to Renee at Wedaways or Pamela at wedaways.com. And after this webinar, we're going to share with you the recording if you'd like, as well as the property PDF presentations that they've given to us that are available to you once this is over. So here we go. I'm going to introduce our wonderful property partners. Castello di Velona is presented today by Gianluca Fabiani, and I'm not sure where he is on your screen. If you want to wave hi, Gianluca, you can say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And thank you so much. And we have Elena from Landana. Elena, how you doing?
Hello. Nice.
And David and Carol from Relais La Corte de Papi. Hi, David and Carol.
Everybody.
Thanks for being here. And of course, Pamela. So we are going to start today with Gianluca from Castello di Velona in beautiful Tuscany. And I'm going to let you take it away, Gianluca.
Thank you very much, Renee. And I'm happy to introduce Castello di Velona to everyone. And let me open the screen to my screen. And so we can start showing you our property. You confirm you can see that, correct?
Yes.
So Castello di Velona is a national monument in the heart of Montalcino, and it is located in Val d'Orcia. It's basically a castle from the 11th century on top of a hill, and surrounded by amazing vineyards of Brunello di Montalcino wine. We are located in Tuscany, so basically from Italy, we are in the central part of Italy, and this is Tuscany. So Montalcino is located exactly here in the southern part of Tuscany, in the southern last portion of the province of Siena. We call this the so-called Other Tuscany, which is the most untouched and preserved and natural area of Tuscany. And in fact, for this reason, the Val d'Orcia, which is the area where we are located, is being named UNESCO World Heritage Site. So the castle has been sitting on top of this hill and overlooking Val d'Orcia from every single corner. This is one important reason for wedding, especially because the castle is surrounded by beautiful terraces overlooking the valley and the vineyards in all directions. So generally, our weddings that we promote and organize are moving events because guests want to enjoy the spectacular views in every single corner of the castle, because in any direction we have a different beautiful view. The second nice important aspect of Castello di Velona is that we have our own natural hot thermal spring. So the waters that feed our pools are totally natural and naturally hot. Indoor pools and outdoor pools are interconnected, and the waters are totally natural. There is no chemical in our waters because the water is changed every day because there is a flow in and out continually. And the pools are open 24 hours a day. We also feature one of the biggest spa in Tuscany called Oli Spa, which are also themed with our thermal spring and thermal water. So now we can enter into some of the common areas of the castle. This is the lobby. Our lobby called Velona Lounge is being built in the ancient chiostro, which is the center and the heart of the castle. Now it has this glass roof, which gives a view to our amazing chiostro. We also have 3 restaurants on property. One of the restaurants is called SETTIMO SENSO, which is the one that you can see here for indoor gathering. But generally, we also have the second restaurant, which is the Brunello restaurant for more intimate gatherings. The majority of our events are basically held outdoor, because one important thing for the weddings is that Montalcino is one of the sunniest areas and driest areas of Italy. So the rate of shower in the year is very, very low. And in fact, in my experience of more than 100 during our event, though we have always a plan B planned in the events, but we are very fortunate with the climate in our Tuscan region. This is, for example, a wedding that has been held indoor, but also had the major part of the wedding outdoor, which was the aperitivo, the cocktail, but the couple loved the indoor restaurant so much that they wanted to have it set inside. One of the highlights of Castello di Velona for the other part of the event that normally is held at the Castello is the Castello di Velona is the only hotel in Tuscany that I know with a dining around program, which means that all the guests are entitled to enjoy their meal plan in 11 different restaurants. 3 restaurants in-house and 8 restaurants out in the countryside. 4 of these restaurants are Michelin star restaurants, so that no matter which one they choose, they still pay their bill in-house in the hotel, and they can enjoy 11 different options. This is a picture of our main kitchen. We have 3 kitchens on property. For the banqueting, we are using the main one, which is this one. Regarding food, our resort is well known for homemade pasta. We basically create all different sorts of menu for our guests. We have the possibility to go from banqueting, barbecue, pizza party, Tuscan buffet, gala dinner, fish, meat, pasta. We also have an option which is called medieval cuisine, which is the way the Medici family was used to celebrate big events, where the entire animal is put in place in a barbecue, and then it's sliced in front of guests. We can do this with boar, wild boar, with birds like pheasant, or with deer, or with big portions of cows. And we normally do this, and it's very much appreciated. Or also big fish. We can cook whole fish up to 60 pounds. And of course, slice it in front of our guests. This is just a little touch of our cuisine. Regarding our rooms, Castello di Velona has 45 rooms and suites. Basically, this is one of our UNESCO rooms, which is featured with thermal water in the bathtub. So these rooms that are on the west side of the castle have this feature of a private terrace and a bathtub with thermal water. In any case, all the rooms enjoy spectacular views of the Val d'Orcia from every side. This is the Castle Pool Terrace apartment, which is the most important suite in the castle, with a private terrace of 250 square meters and 150 square meters terrace with a private pool with thermal water. This is generally one area where the wedding couple is hosted, or an area where we arrange for amazing aperitivo and cocktails with smaller gatherings. As I was saying, the UNESCO View Terrace rooms have their private terrace and their private bathtub with thermal water. This is what the so-called monumental rooms, which are in the central body of the castle, which are more traditional, with roof wooden beams and the cotto floors, and again, amazing views of the Val d'Orcia outside. As I was saying, celebrations are held in all different areas of the castle. In this case, for example, we use the sunset terrace for the wedding celebration, but we can use the circle, the round terrace in the north part of the castle, which is again amazing, with the beautiful sunset and the possibility to look at the tower in front of them, which is the tower square, where then before and after the celebration, generally we serve cocktails and aperitivo. This is the Brunello terrace, which is another terrace again with amazing view of the Amiata mountain and the castle. And this is another location, the East Terrace, for a small intimate wedding, where the views are again amazing from the natural environment and the pools. This is an intimate wedding in the monumental suite terrace that we were looking at before, with again, the surrounding nature is one of the highlights. This is the SETTIMO SENSO terrace out of the restaurant, where the guests can enjoy amazing cocktails, or again, where dinner can be served. The pool is one of the highlights of the castle, where we can arrange for amazing gala dinners or after dinner pool party. The photo shooting is another important part of our, because we have the vineyards from our property, so guests can take their own photo shooting in the vineyards. We produce our own Brunello wine and olive oil on property. I'm so sorry, I can only show you the pictures of it, but be assured that I will invite you when you will be able to join us. Then I would like to show you briefly, these are some of the real events that we have hosted in the castle. But if I have 1 minute, I would like to show you one of the weddings that have been celebrated at the Castello. And the bride was so happy at the end of it that she told me, Gianluca, you can use my video anytime with anyone. I am no problem if you expose it. And this is one of the castle views from the drone. And this is the settings that we normally create for our guests. We can arrange all sorts of special fireworks shows in any sorts of feature, music, entertainment, and of any sorts, falconry as well, and all decorations of any sorts can be enjoyed by our guests. This is the entrance gate of the castle. The tailor-made mise en place, everything is always tailor-made, and lights, laser shows, and fireworks, makeup, everything is organized by Castello di Velona with no limitations. Photo shooting and ballooning. We have a helipad on property, so we can allow guests to reach the castle directly in our helipad. And we organize activities, more than 40 different activities all around Tuscany and all around our amazing villas. This is one of our partners where we use to organize truffle hunting. And this is basically it. If you have 1 more minute, I will just show you this video.
Beautiful. Thank you.
This is Castello di Velona, and thank you very much for,
Bravo.
for allowing me to introduce you to your community.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gianluca. That was gorgeous. Beautiful.
Thank
okay.
You, Renee.
Thank you. And then anyone that has any questions, of course, you can send them through here. Pamela will be monitoring it. And if you have any questions afterwards, send it directly to Renee or Pamela, and we'll share the PDF of the property. Thank you. And now we're going to go to Landana. Landana, which is farther toward the coast of Italy, and Elena will present this gorgeous property. Thank you.
Thank you. Here it is. Okay. Okay, this is our logo, and this is the Tenuta la Badiola. Tenuta means which is an estate, so it's an Irish property. I will before I introduce myself, I'm Elena Antinucci, and I'm the events manager at Landana. I work for the company since around 10 years, and I know every single corner of the property. So I will be the referent at Landana for all the events. So the first thing I would like to tell you is that I will usually cooperate with all the wedding planners that organize a wedding in our resort. So I became part of your team for that, for the organization period and also for that days. This is the location of Landana. We are based in Tuscany, in the south of Tuscany, so in the same more wild and natural part of Tuscany, close to the seaside. So we are, you can see, we are close to Castiglione della Pescaia. So 10 minutes from the seaside, but in the middle of the countryside. So it's a very strategic location because we are 2 hours from Rome Airport and 1 hour and a half from Pisa and Florence Airport. So very easy to reach us, and let's say the landscape around makes the experience very unique. So you can have experience inside the estate, but also in the territory. This is our main entrance, so the alley. The property was an ancient house of the Grand Duke of Tuscany, so it is built up since 1828, so it's a very ancient property. We built it up, reset it, and opened in 2004, so it's a recent location. And we immediately started to organize weddings because the landscape and the characteristic of the estate is really perfect for organizing weddings. This is our, this is our main entrance. So this is our welcome. The welcome to is 1 kilometer of alley from the gate to the property, and is our hug to all the guests. We have vineyards and also olive trees. So we produce our own wine and our own olive oil, and we are part of the Moretti group. So Moretti is a very big group, which is, we also have another property in Lombardy, but we produce wines, and we are expert in resorts, and the other property is called L'Albereta and is our sister company. This is an overview of the property, which is made by 3 different buildings. This is Landana buildings. The white building is La Villa. The orange one is La Fattoria. And then we have another part which is called Casa Badiola that I will explain you later. These are some pictures of the area around, while this is our lobby. So is where we welcome all our guests. I would like to underline to you that what our main point of force and strength is that the guests, if decided to have their wedding at Landana, they can do everything into the estate. So they can have, they can park their car and have all the services and all the experience inside the estate, while they can also experience and have do a lot of activities on the territory. This is our lobby during the night. This is just an overview of some pictures to explain where we are. This is our swimming pool, and is also a place where we usually organize the aperitif and welcome to the guests. This is one of our rooms. We have the property we have 47 rooms, so The capacity is in the range of from 90 to 120 guests, depending on how many rooms are in single, double, or multiple occupancy. We are for couple and also for families, because we also have a kids club for families, while we have a winery into the estate, which is this is just an overview of all our rooms and suites. So it's to give you the idea of where we are. The restaurants, our restaurants, let me say, our F&B services are organized by the chef Enrico Bartolini. This is one of the restaurants. We have two restaurants into the estate. This is La Villa, and the second is La Trattoria Enrico Bartolini. Let's start from La Villa. La Villa is the more casual restaurant, so is one located in the same building of the hotel. And this is the veranda of La Villa. We can, of course, do every F&B services either inside or outside. So we have space enough for having plan A or plan B. Of course, plan A usually, again, also here is outside, while plan B can also be inside the same space and same nice setting around. So La Villa is the more casual. This is some pictures of the kitchen and of the inner room of La Villa. La Trattoria Enrico Bartolini is one Michelin star restaurant. It's a separate building, as you see, but it's just 3 minutes walking from the hotel, so it's very, very close. And here we usually organize all the banquets and all the events. This is the inside part of the restaurant, which is usually, this part is dedicated to individuals, while we have a separate area for events. This is a private room for very small banquets, while we also have, and I will show you, bigger room up to 250 people. So the capacity for the restaurant is bigger than the capacity of the hotel. So we can organize banquets from, of course, small groups to 250 people. Into the estate, we also have an internal spa. The spa is branded S-Spa. Spa is an English brand. And we organize, of course, all the treatments, all the activities linked to the wellness. And the spa is guest disposal, of course. Usually we require the buyout of the estate. We suggest and we require the buyout of the resort for celebrating wedding at Landana, because you can, in this case, the couple can enjoy all the spaces in exclusive use. The second, another building of the resort is Casa Badiola. From this year, so from 2020, also Casa Badiola rooms are part of the leading hotel of the world. So quality is one, of course, of our main characteristics. We are leading hotel of the world, and we have the Michelin star restaurant. So these are all quality certification, let's say, that make people almost sure that what we offer in terms of services is the top level. These are some rooms of Casa Badiola, which are perfect for also for families and or for people with pets and dogs. Of course, we accept also dogs in our resort. These rooms is either a private garden or private terrace, so are usually very, very nice. I just showed this is the bathroom. And here is the part of the presentation dedicated to weddings. We have a private church. So into the resort, we can celebrate either Catholics or religious, civil or symbolic weddings, everything into the estate. So this is a very interesting thing because the couple can do everything without moving from the estate. And this is, for example, one of our room dedicated to the smaller banqueting. Here is around 40 people. This room is called veranda room. And for bigger, these are just some other setting. The basic setting that you see in this picture is included in our offer from the restaurant. So we have a basic setting which is included and is offered by the resort, while of course if the couple would like to have a special setting, table setting, they can, of course, we can rent for them. But this is an example of what we offer. It's very basic, clean, but usually very appreciated setting. These are some pictures of previous okay, and this is the bigger room. This is the Leopoldo ballroom where we can sit up to 250 guests. So this is sometimes the plan B, but sometimes it's also the plan A because the room is so nice. It's a stone room with ancient details, and so it's very appreciated by the couple. And this is mainly the end of all the weddings. I also have a video, but I'm not sure I can share it. So I think I will try, but I'm not sure I will be able to share, but I try to do
The
it.
internet connection, Elena and audience, is a little spotty because they don't play smoothly. So you can try, but I think we'd like to share it, the link of the video, with anyone who requests it after.
I try and tell me if it's nice, otherwise I stop it, okay?
Okay. And I'll just mention while Elena is doing this that Pamela and I have both been to all three of the properties today, and the food is outstanding.
Can you look at the video?
Yeah, the video is not playing, Elena.
It's not. Okay.
No. Yeah, let's save that, and we'll share that with anyone who requests it. And we'll put it up. We'll put it up on your website as well, on your profile on Wedaways. As everyone knows, each property has their own Wedaways profile, and we have the videos of all the properties on their actual profile pages.
Okay.
So that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Landana. Very nice.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to introduce David. David is the director of Relais La Corte de Papi in Cortona, which is in Tuscany. And Cortona is a very famous place because it is where the movie Under the Tuscan Sun was filmed. And David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hello, Renee. Thank you very much. Welcome to everybody. Thank you. Yes, I'm David Papi, and my property is completely different to the both property that we see now. It's absolutely gorgeous property that you showed today. We have La Corte de Papi is a very boutique hotel. Actually, I have to say that I'm the owner, and this was my family home. So where I'm born and grew up when I was children. So about 15 years ago, my family and I decided to convert the property in what is today La Corte de Papi. But at the beginning, we started with a little restaurant where was the cellar of the house. So we started little by little. I was the chef with my mom, that she's not anymore the chef now, that she's a little bit old now, but she's still in the property, you see, Renee. And she's actually, I'm very lucky that she's absolutely gorgeous, but now we have a great team in the kitchen that actually we are lucky that they are staying with us for a long time. We are a small family at La Corte de Papi. the chef and all the staff in the kitchen is with us for about 12, 14 minutes. So it's a long. And then after that we start like this, and then little by little we improve the rooms, and now it's 5-star hotel. It's today. So, but I would like to just a little introduce La Corte dei Papi. But I want to introduce Carol, that is my assistant, that she will introduce La Corte dei Papi for you.
Okay, let me just get this presentation up here. Share screen. There we go. Okay, can everybody see that
Yes.
pretty well?
Yes.
All right. Well, hello, my name is Carol Collar. I'm the customer service manager here at La Corte dei Papi, and good afternoon to all of you. Our property here is a bit different than the ones you've seen. It's smaller, but it's probably one of our finest points is the fact that this is a family-owned operation, and there is a warm tradition of hospitality, of personal hospitality. In fact, David makes a point of meeting each of the guests and following their stay here at the hotel. We're in Cortona, as Renee said. Beautiful hill town, very ancient, dates back to the 6th century BC, as a matter of fact, and is a very nice place to visit. Actually, there's a lot going on in such a small little town up here on top of the hill, very typical Italian hill town. Now, this is situated in southern Tuscany, about 6 kilometers from the Umbrian border. There you can see the W there, that's us. And we're close to Italy's 4th largest lake, Lake Trasimeno, right there in the middle. And in fact, one of the great advantages of our location here is that we are very, very central. We're very close distance-wise to a lot of desirable places to visit. Well, apart from our beloved Cortona, there's Florence, which is about an hour and a half away, either by rail or by car. One could go to Perugia, one could go to Siena, the wine country in Montepulciano and Montalcino, cheese country in Pienza, that's my personal favorite. And of course, point south in Umbria, because we're very close to Umbria. We can go to Assisi, we can go to Perugia, Gubbio, Orvieto, all sorts of places. And I must say, we're pretty close to a couple of major airports as well. We're close to Florence Airport, again, about an hour and a half away, and about 2.5 hours to the airport in Rome. See, these are some of the places that one could potentially make forays out to. You can see some places in Umbria, like Assisi, Perugia, and Orvieto, but other things right here in Tuscany that are either an easy train ride or an easy drive. And here we are at our property. Corte dei Papi is actually made up of a very small hamlet that consisted of 3 different villas. It was a farming property originally, of course, belonging for 8 generations to the Papi family. What you're looking at here is what was once a granary, and on the ground floor were the stalls where all the oxen and the horses were kept. Today, this houses most of our spa suites, which are our signature rooms, which all have an ensuite spa inside. We'll see another picture of that in a second. This is a view from that same room looking at the main farmhouse, which today is where the lobby is. This is where the restaurant is situated on the ground floor in what was once the cantina, or the wine cellar, where the family actually made their own wine. The Papi family still produces a couple of wines of their own, a Super Tuscan and a white. so those can be tasted in the lovely restaurant. You can see just off to the left, there's a bit of white there. That's where the pool area is, and of course this is part of the garden. And there's the pool area and lovely garden around. A very Italianate garden with typical plantings of a lot of the native plants, olive trees, umbrella pines, cypresses. Another corner of the garden, this is near the swimming pool, so one can wander a bit. There's also quite a long stretch of property behind that's still belonging to the hotel, where the vineyards are. This is the first building you saw at night with the spa suites. We just put this in because we wanted to show that it's beautiful during the evening as well as during the day. And, okay, this is the main entrance going towards the old farmhouse. I have to say it still has that very Tuscan feel about it, with open beams, the ceilings, and the tile floors. And again, a very sort of a sense of coming to a home as opposed to just a large, more institutional sort of space. And this is the third of the villas on the property, which was just recently restored. Only a year ago this was finished. And we're very proud of this particular building as it follows a sort of early 17th century style, sort of a late Renaissance, early Baroque sort of style. And this is where we have our new, very beautiful space specifically for weddings. There it is by night. It's right beside the swimming pool. And on the ground floor, what we have is a very nice lounge bar now, lots of private spaces. It's actually a wood bar with a beautiful marble top where guests can go and enjoy a cocktail or whatever. But for weddings, this is all opened up, and of course cocktails or aperitifs can be served all the way around the pool. In fact, this is a wedding going on around the pool where you have outdoor seating. Beautiful gazebo is set up all the way around the pool, and there are tables set out outside afterwards for the wedding supper. One can move inside if one prefers. Oops, wedding couple. You can see the view of the beautiful vineyards in back of the hotel with the hills. We are right in the middle of the green. There are sort of rolling hills and farmland all around the property. Okay, this is one of the places that is a potential venue for the ceremony itself. As you can see, it's more or less in the same area. This large piece of property just behind the hotel. And of course, this kind of thing can be tailored to the client, to the wedding couple. They can choose the sort of chairs they want, the flowers they would like, how it is all set up. Let me see another, oops, oh, coming back. This is back at the main house. In fact, David said that the original, when he originally decided to have a hospitality sort of arrangement, it started with a small restaurant called La Corte di Papi. And this was done in the cantina, in the wine cellar. And you can still see the stone walls, the terracotta floors, and the open beams here from that original cellar. However, this was enlarged afterwards to include another beautiful part of the same cellar. There's the rest of the room here. This is the indoor restaurant. Now, of course, in the autumn or in the winter time, this is actually a very nice space, nice and warm, but you can look out over the gardens in any case because there are windows giving out onto the property. Another view of the dining room. And then the food. Well, we have a wonderful team in the kitchen They do specialize in Tuscan favorites, traditional food, but with a kind of a modern twist to it. But they also do international dishes. In central Italy, of course, we have a lot of fine meats and grains of one sort and another. But our restaurant will also do beautiful fish dishes that comes up fresh from the sea every day. And so we do have quite a good-sized menu, a good choice of dishes that can be ordered. And of course, a lot of attention is given to presentation and freshness. Most of the ingredients, I'm going to say, stick my neck out, all of the ingredients are very fresh in our area. We are a farming area, so many lovely things available. The restaurant itself produces all its own breads, all its own pastas, cakes, pies, even their own jam. It's made right here at La Corte di Papi. That looks pretty good, I think. In terms of weddings, they also make the cake. And of course, that can be the kind of cake that the bride and groom want. Here, we have sort of a very classic looking three-tiered white wedding cake, but a lot of attention to the presentation again with silver pieces, crystal, lots of candles. And you'll see on either side that we have an offering of two big bowls of the confetti, or the sugared almonds that are a traditional wedding favor here in Italy. And this is the newest of our wedding reception venues. This is the upper floor of that building I showed you near the swimming pool. This is our Renaissance event room, which can seat up to 150 people. This will be our maximum number of people to be served at a wedding. Our average number for weddings probably runs between 80 and 100 people at a time. But as you can see, it's beautifully appointed. It's got lovely mural paintings, boiserie woodwork all around, some mirrors there on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side are windows overlooking the property. It's got some lovely views of both the garden and the surrounding countryside. And there is a wedding table all decked out with its beautiful flowers and settings you can see here. Of course, the wedding couple gets to decide the decorations. In this case, you can see on the table they've chosen the gold silverware. Seems to be gold silverware. But one has a choice. One can pick whatever look one wants for the table. Another view. Lovely table. And you know, we cater to small weddings too. There are weddings that are just families that come, and you can have a very intimate sort of arrangement at that point. Here, in fact, they have chosen a sort of different sort of table setting, but still with lovely fresh flowers and candles. This is an outdoor wedding. This was done out in the garden. Little bit different table setting arrangement. Because we have some quite large spaces out in the garden, we have a variety of places that one can set up a table. In a case like this, where the wedding supper is outside, you can start with an aperitif, either a sort of buffet sort of arrangement, or tables beside the pool. The view of that beautiful table. And here again, the table setting. The lovely wedding favor on top of the serviette. A smaller table here you can see with some grapes and a different sort of flower arrangement. So as I said, one can completely change the decor according to the wishes of the client. And here are some of our wedding people, our wedding couples. We thought we'd include a couple of photographs of them. As a matter of fact, we do take care of all the arrangements. We have the possibility to contact several different vendors for flowers, for photography, music, photography, of course, did I say that? but also makeup, hair, and hairdressers can come into the hotel. So everything that one would need for the wedding can be had in the area. Another romantic looking couple. And these are all people who did in fact get married at the Corte di Papi. A small table here. And here are some of the wedding invitations that are available. Of course, again, there's a vast gamut of this sort of thing that could be had. And onto the rooms. Well, we're not a hotel as big as that big castle of yours, Gianluca, but we do have a beautiful group of 16 rooms. 6 of those are more of the classic Tuscan style, but our signature rooms are our spa suites, and that's what you're looking at here. These spa suites are actually quite large rooms. They run from 70 to 100 square meters in dimension. So they're, you could almost dance around the room. They're quite large. And here on the left, you can see there's a Turkish bath. This features a panel where one can choose aromatherapy, music therapy, chromotherapy. It has a sensory shower. And all the way on the other side is another part of this in-room spa, which is a jacuzzi made of marble and coral right there. That's usually a double or a triple jacuzzi. Here are some of our deluxe spa suites. Again, all within in-room spa. That's part of one of the selling points of our property, is that we do have these private spas. We don't have a collective spa that everybody goes to. These are to protect the privacy and the intimacy of our clients. They can order in different treatments or massages in their rooms and enjoy this sort of a treatment directly in the privacy of their own suite. The exclusive spa suites, as I said, we have 2 kinds: deluxe spa suites and exclusive spa suites. The only difference in these is the size. The deluxe spa suites run from about 40 to 60 square meters, and the exclusive spa suites are from 70 to 100 square meters, so quite a bit larger. At this point, we can accommodate 32 double, in these double occupancy rooms, but we can go to 50 people by adding 1 or 2 beds to these actually very large rooms. Oops, there's a wedding dress. And what's the bed? This is our bridal suite, the Antico Granaio, which is just that. It's the ancient granary of the first villa that you saw in the presentation. And it's divided on 2 levels. This is a really beautiful space because down below is the spa area with a quadruple jacuzzi for 4 people, and a Turkish bath, of course. And on the second level is a beautiful 4-poster bed with views. I will mention that all of these spa suites that are on the ground floor have their own private garden as well, with views of the property or the surrounding countryside.
Carol, you have 1 minute, less than 1 minute.
Okay, well, I'll be quick. Okay. I'll move on. These are some of the activities and services we offer. Again, right. The treatments in the room, but also wine tours, Ferrari tours, hot air balloons, horseback riding, and then cultural tours as well of any place around the area. And this is the beautiful Val d'Orcia right next door to us, with its rolling hills. This whole area of southern Tuscany is known for its beautiful countryside. And that's our presentation.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do want to mention to the listeners, the viewing audience, that on our YouTube channel, YouTube at Wedaways YouTube channel, we have a video of Relais La Corte de Papi that we filmed with our film crew, and it's fantastic because unfortunately you can't really see the layout of the property. The other two properties that were shown, you have more of a vista of how things are set up. This is a little bit more difficult to see, but it's a beautiful flow. And I would love for you to check it out. We can share it as well afterwards. There's no one sharing screens anymore, correct? Everybody's back to, okay, great. Well, I think Pamela, did you mention there's a question?
Yes, we are about to be out of time, but I want to ask just one question to the properties. What is the maximum capacity for a wedding at your property? Gianluca of Castello di Velona answered with 115 guests maximum in room. For banqueting, there's a maximum of 300 guests for outdoor venue spaces and 200 guests for indoor venue spaces. So we want to ask the same question of Elena of Landana. If you can tell us what the max wedding capacity is for your venue spaces.
For us, we have, for the banquet, we have a capacity of 250 inside. While outside, we can also arrive at 300, but we consider 250 maximum to grant the perfect service. And the capacity of the rooms is 120, because we have 47 rooms and between rooms and suites. Some are apartments with a capacity of 4 people. So we consider 120, from 90 to 120 in the rooms.
Perfect, perfect. And we know that you do prefer exclusive use, which is great. Just to backtrack just a second, Gianluca, do you require exclusive use for a wedding hosted at your property?
We have several options, from intimate weddings up to exclusive use of property. The only difference between the buyout and the other packages where other guests are in-house is the duration of the music. When we have the buyout, there is no restriction at all for music duration. When there is a partial buyout, then music can be played until 2 o'clock at night.
Beautiful, perfect. And Carol and David of Relais La Corte de Papi, what is the capacity of weddings for your venue spaces on property?
For us, outside and indoor, it's about 150 maximum for us. And for the room, we have only 16 rooms, so the capacity is about 32 people in double occupancy and 50 maximum 50 people. So it's very, very small, but we are lucky because we are very close to Cortona. So for all our guests that usually are, the weddings are bigger, for 100, 120, 150 people. All the rest of the clients could stay very close by in another hotel close to Cortona. And actually, this is also something that some of our clients love it, that they show us, because they like to be a little bit more private for the family, just so they like to take in exclusivity the property for just the family, and all the other guests can stay nearby Cortona. We suggest to take the exclusivity of the property. It's not an obligation, but most of our clients, they like to take the back out of the property just because it's so small. There are only 16 rooms. It's so easy to take in buy out the property. So this is a great point for us, because most of our clients, they love to take the exclusivity of the property and leave the other clients to choose the other hotel close by.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Pamela, may I take over for 1 minute?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so we are coming to the close now. I just wanted to quickly share with our audience my screen and to let you know that on Wedaways.com, you can come and see each property has its own profile page. And within each property's profile, you can find images of their properties that you are able to see all of their event spaces and their rooms and their food presentation very clearly, that you may not have seen everything on this presentation. So you're welcome to go to Wedaways.com and of course contact Pamela or myself at any time. We're very, very happy to help you. And we're very excited that you all joined us today. Send us your questions, and we have another webinar scheduled for this Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll be featuring 3 other properties. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we loved learning about all you have.
Thank you, Renee, for
very much.
everything. Thank you.
Thank
Ciao.
you. See you soon.
Grazie.
Come to Italy.
Okay, yes, soon.